Do you know you can increase your dopamine level naturally? What is dopamine? There are several neurotransmitters, one of which is dopamine. Your nervous system uses it to communicate between nerve cells once your body produces it. That is why it is occasionally referred to as a chemical messenger. It performs a number of tasks, including those related to reward, motivation, memory, attention, and even the control of bodily motions. It aids our effort, concentration, and ability to discover interest in things. Dopamine releases in significant quantities provide emotions of reward and pleasure that encourage repetition of a certain action. Contrarily, low levels of dopamine are associated with a lower drive and excitement for activities that normally thrill most individuals. Dopamine levels are normally tightly controlled by the neurological system, although they can change due to many variables including lifestyle decisions and mental health. In the worst instance, it may become so depleted that it results in schizophrenia, Parkinson's disease, restless leg syndrome, and depression. There are various ways that can help you improve your dopamine levels. But before we get down to the deets of dreams, subscribe to our channel so that you can always keep in touch with information on the subjects you are inquisitive about. And join the deets family. Process of dopamine. Tyrosine, an amino acid, is converted by our brain into dopa, which is subsequently converted into dopamine. Numerous aspects of your behavior and bodily processes are impacted, including cognition, ambition, bloodstream and kidney function, respiratory rate, lactating, slumber, emotion, and attentiveness, as well as control over sickness and vomiting, as well as pain perception. Why is dopamine important? Most diseases and difficulties relating to mental health are difficult to attribute to a single source. However, they are frequently related to either too much or too little dopamine in various areas of the brain. Schizophrenia. The most serious ailment that is caused by the lower level of dopamine is schizophrenia. Years ago, scientists thought that symptoms were caused by an overactive dopamine system. We now know that some are brought on by too much of this substance in certain brain regions. This covers delusions and hallucinations. Different indicators, such as a lack of drive and desire, might result from its absence in other areas of brain and body. ADHD. The exact etiology of attention deficit hyperactivity disorder is yet unknown, ADHD, but it is indirectly related to ADHD. Methylphenidate is a part of medication for ADHD which increases dopamine. Parkinson's disease. Dopamine allows your brain's neurons to interact and regulate movement. But when a person is suffering from Parkinson's disease, a particular kind of neuron in their body slowly deteriorates. Their body produces less dopamine because it no longer has a signal to convey. There are physical signs of the chemical imbalance. These include tremor, stiffness, sluggish spontaneous movement, unsteadiness on one foot, and a lack of coordination. Lower level of dopamine can cause low blood pressure, poor cardiac output, poor blood flow to vital organs, some cases of septic shock, irregular heartbeat, trouble breathing, chest pain, nausea and vomiting, headache. A small bonus for you. A little birdie told me that you have a curious little brain that feels happy whenever it gets new information about how, what, why, and when. If that's true, then make sure you check out our channel as it has various detailed videos on topics you might be inquisitive about. If you worry that your dopamine levels are low, here are a few ways to increase your dopamine levels naturally. Number 1. Exercise more. Exercising often is a boon for everyone. It is generally suggested because exercise increases endorphin levels and elevates mood. Aerobic exercise can lift your mood after only 10 minutes, and the benefits are usually get better after 20-minute session. An extended study discovered that practicing yoga for a minimum of 1 hour every day dramatically influenced better dopamine levels. People with Parkinson's disease, a disorder in which low dopamine levels impair the brain's capacity to govern bodily movements, can also benefit from regular aerobic exercise. Numerous studies have demonstrated a considerable improvement in motor control in Parkinson's disease patients who exercise vigorously several times per week, suggesting that the dopamine system may be helped. Number 2. Balanced diet with lots of proteins. Smaller building pieces known as amino acids are used to construct proteins. For your body to produce all the proteins, around 20 different amino acids are required. As you may already be aware, tyrosine, a kind of amino acid, is essential for the creation of dopamine. Thus, having enough protein in your diet is crucial. In addition, the amino acid phenylalanine may be used to create tyrosine. Studies have investigated the effects of tyrosine and phenylalanine ingestion and concluded that it elevated dopamine levels in the brain to enhance memory and deep cognition. In contrast, dopamine levels may drop if phenylalanine and tyrosine aren't consumed. Both tyrosine and phenylalanine are naturally found in protein-rich foods such as turkey, beef, eggs, dairy, soy, and legumes. Number 3. Lower saturated fat from your diet. When ingested in very large quantities, saturated fats such as those in butter, full-fat dairy, palm oil, and coconut oil may interfere with dopamine transmission in the brain. Even without variations in blood sugar, hormones, weight, or body fat, these alterations took place. According to some experts, meals packed with saturated fat may cause the body to become more inflammatory, which might disrupt how the dopamine system functions. Other surveys and studies have also discovered a connection between consuming a lot of saturated fat and having trouble thinking clearly and remembering things. Number 4. Sweet dose of sleep. Dopamine is a brain chemical that produces emotions of alertness in our bodies. When it's time to get up in the morning, a lot of dopamine is released, and when it's time to go to bed at night, levels of dopamine naturally decline. But sleep deprivation throws off these biological cycles. The amount of neurotransmitters and dopamine in a person's brain in the morning after being compelled to stay awake all night is significantly decreased. Dopamine promotes alertness, therefore lowering receptor sensitivity should make it simpler to fall asleep, particularly after a night of poor sleep. But getting less dopamine often has undesirable effects, such as diminished concentration and sluggish coordination. Getting consistent, high-quality sleep may help you feel more awake and high-functioning during the day and maintain the equilibrium of your dopamine levels. Adults are advised to acquire 7 to 9 hours of sleep each night and to take good care of their sleep hygiene in order to maintain optimal health. By going to bed and getting up at the same time every day, keeping your bedroom quiet and clean, avoiding coffee in the evening, and separating the place of your work and sleep, you may enhance the quality of your sleep. As some of you may already know, sleep is a powerful tool, built not only to refresh ourselves and wake up rejuvenated every morning, but also to detoxify our system. But you might not know that it is also a tool that can help you awaken your superpowers. Want to know how? Then be sure to check out our video titled Unlock Your Superpowers with Better Sleep. Number 5. Meditation. The art of meditation is tuning your mind, turning into inner self, and allowing your ideas drift past without prejudice or connection. Regular practice is linked to better mental and physical health, and you can do it anywhere, anyhow, whenever, and wherever you like it. The advantages of meditation are a result of higher dopamine levels in the brain. The change in dopamine levels are said to keep meditators in a good mood throughout the day and keeps them motivated to continue in the meditative state for a longer period of time. The degree of dopamine boosting effects also varies between experienced and novice meditators. Number 6. Listening to music. Another great technique to encourage the release of dopamine in your brain is by listening to music. According to a number of brain studies, listening to music enhances activity in the brain's reward and pleasure centers, which are teeming with dopamine receptors. Listening to music has also been demonstrated to assist persons with Parkinson's disease enhance their fine motor abilities because music can increase dopamine levels. Number 7. Exposure to sunlight. Do you also feel like a sad little sunflower or depressed during the winter when you are not exposed to enough sunlight? Well, this situation is known as seasonal affective disorder, or SAD. It is generally known that exposure to sunlight enhances levels of mood-enhancing neurotransmitters like dopamine, and that periods of low solar exposure can decrease them. While receiving a little amount of sun may increase dopamine levels and elevate happiness, it's still crucial to follow safety precautions because too much sun exposure may be dangerous and even habit-forming. Moderation is key since excessive sun exposure can harm skin and raise the chance of developing skin cancer. It's generally advised to avoid the sun between the hours of 10 a.m. and 2 p.m. when ultraviolet radiation is at its greatest, and to use sunscreen whenever you go out to protect your skin and save it from premature aging. It is impossible to analyze low dopamine levels on a plain grayscale. It's a complex topic with various subtopics to acknowledge. It's crucial to understand that medical issues are not brought on by low dopamine levels. Although there is a connection or relationship, low levels do not directly cause the illnesses. The ideas of correlation and causation are much more opaque. There are a few ways, such as healthy balanced diet, proper exercise, daily meditation, listening to music, and a healthy exposure to proper sunlight can help you increase your dopamine levels, but be sure to consult a professional before trying out anything or experimenting with our tips. With this, we come to the end of the video. If you found this video insightful, then hit the like button and make sure to subscribe to our channel before you leave, so that we can fill you up on various other such informational videos and keep you and your inquisitive brain updated. Also, drop down the topics that you guys are interested in, and we will try to make detailed videos on them. Till then, take care, and we'll see you guys in our next video.